Automakers, meanwhile, Ford and General Motors are the latest companies to donate to Donald Trump's inaugural fund. They're going to send $1 million each, along with a fleet of vehicles for the January 20th inauguration. Some of Trump's policies, like killing the EV tax credit, would put a damper on the automakers' sales. But Ford CEO Jim Farley says he is optimistic that Trump will be open to hearing an opposing point of view. He's going to find out. And two top aides to President-elect Donald Trump are joining a key outside group ahead of his second term. Campaign manager Chris LaCivita and pollster Tony Fabrizio are joining 501c4 Building America's Future as advisors. They're going to provide strategic counsel as the group looks to rally support for Trump's policies. The group, by the way, helped campaign for Trump during the election and promised to continue doing so throughout his presidency. All right, now this. Republicans are ready to rally behind President-elect Trump. We have just 28 days now until they have control of the Senate, the House, and yes, the White House. Meanwhile, Democrats appear to be a little adrift without a leader. According to reports, lawmakers are breaking down in private meetings and clashing over what steps to take next. Lots of hand-wringing, apparently. Joe Concha joins me now. Oh, Joe. Bottom line, the Democrats have no clear message and basically no clear leader. In disarray, I would say.
Oh, that's being generous, disarray. In the toilet is what that New York Times piece described it as, to be generous.
Yes.
And look, this is one of the most common sense perspectives, Ashley, I've seen out of the Democratic Party post-election in that New York Times piece. And those are the two key words here, right? Common sense. Like, for instance, don't print hundreds of billions of dollars in a bill insultingly called the Inflation Reduction Act that doesn't reduce inflation. Don't urge people around the world to, quote, surge to the border. Remember, those were Joe Biden's words when he ran for president in 2020, and then wonder why so many common sense people are against that, because this isn't only a national security issue, it's imploding local budgets across the country. Those are two of the main reasons why Donald Trump did so relatively well with urban voters, for example. So don't spend what you don't have. Embrace immigration by all means, but only through legal means. But I think in the end, Ashley, from a cultural perspective, that's what hurt Democrats the most. For instance, an overwhelming majority of Americans don't want biological men competing against biological women in sports. And they certainly don't support sex changes for minors, especially without the parents even being notified. Again, this is common sense stuff. That party needs to get back to the Bill Clinton kind of party of the 1990s if they expect to win any national elections again.
You know, Joe, Biden has less than a month now left as president, if he even is president. He served just one term, was forced out of his re-election effort by people he called allies. Now he doesn't, I don't think. I mean, when we get to the end of this term, what is Joe Biden's legacy?
He will be, if you're under 50 years old, the most unpopular president of our lifetimes, even more than Jimmy Carter. You got to go all the way back to Richard Nixon to find a lower approval rating. And overall, look, this is a man who sat in the Oval Office and presided over 40-year high inflation, crime driving Americans out of major American cities like San Francisco, Chicago, New York, to places like Tennessee and Texas and Florida. Obviously, an open border that we just talked about, that will be part of his legacy as well. Chaos overseas, and a man, quite frankly, who seemed to be on vacation more than he was actually working because he simply was not up for the job anymore. So I can't really find any positives about Joe Biden. And the fact that Democrats like Nancy Pelosi said that he should be on Mount Rushmore. Again, you can't be any more tone deaf to think that this was anything resembling a successful presidency. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and very quickly, Joe, before we say goodbye, I mean, I just still don't think Democrats have learned. But ultimately, this administration lied to us about the mental, cognitive abilities of this president. And that will be probably the one thing we all remember.
Oh, precisely. And it was, if you read that Wall Street Journal piece last week with 50 sources, basically everybody knew that his cognitive decline began back in 2021, and no one had the stones to come forward and say that this isn't good for the country. Maybe you should step aside, sir. And now they paid for it at the ballot box. That's certainly for sure.
Boy, did they ever. Joe Concha, great stuff as always, Joe. Merry Christmas to you and your family.